And a very warm welcome to Wellbeing Mission Control. It is a beautiful day here, very comfortable -24, and I'm so glad you could join me. And one of the themes that we've touched on during these brief informal discussions on well-being is the idea that everything is connected. Does that sound like a great idea? It's a very comforting thought to think how you're connected to the trees and the flowers and the birds and nature. It's a wonderful thought. But it's sometimes less comfortable when we look at social media and we see some of the people who perhaps frustrate us, perhaps shock and surprise us, and people who make us feel full of righteous indignation. And then we have to realize that perhaps we're connected to these people too. There are some very strange, and you might even say dysfunctional, characters in the news feeds. And it's frustrating to think that people can be so willfully destructive when they have an opportunity to make the world perhaps a better place, and they seem hell-bent on bringing about the end of civilization as we know it. And yet, rather than pouring our scorn and our frustration upon the heads of these characters, there is an underlying wisdom in the understanding that we are nonetheless connected to them. You and I, and everybody else on the planet, are sharing this time and this space. There is a commonality that is linked to our life form, this life form we call humanity. And when we understand that just below the surface, we can experience a sense of connection that is quite astonishing. Something that our dear friend Carl Jung referred to quite often in his lectures to his students and in his writings. We just go below this superficial level of perception where we appear to be completely separate, detached individuals. And then we realize that we are in fact deeply connected to everyone, even some of the people that we find very, very difficult to understand, people whose behavior is completely contrary to the well-being of their fellow humans, let alone the welfare of the planet. So why do I mention it? Well, this insight helps us to perhaps take a different view. If we begin to appreciate that we really are connected to everybody else, whether we like them or not, we might just find a spark of understanding, a little hint of compassion. And that can help us to overcome this instinctive knee-jerk reaction to judge people. It helps us to feel a sense of unity. We may not fully understand how people are, but if we can get beyond this old habit of judging people, and judging them quite harshly, if we can move beyond the fear, the anger and the frustration, we can develop a much healthier attitude towards the rest of humanity and perhaps even the rest of creation on this planet. This is one way to remove a lot of the internal resistance that gets in the way of our ability to have more fulfilling relationships. It helps us perhaps to enjoy life, to enjoy the world on a different level of experience. It's a way for us to perhaps revolutionize our connection to everyone else. And whilst we might not be able to change the entire planet, we can change the internal landscape. We can make this inner domain of our own hearts a more comfortable place, a more understanding place, a more compassionate place. And that just feels like we're taking another small step along the pathway to self-fulfillment, to self-realization. But it just helps you to channel your energy in a much more positive way. Rather than feeling all the old anger and frustration, you tend to feel a sense of, I can only call it compassion, towards people who are also learning, who are also experiencing, who are also moving just like the rest of us, gradually, slowly, a tiny edging step closer to our true selves, to realization. Perhaps the explanation for why we're here in the first place. I'd love to know what you think. Your thoughts are always deeply appreciated. And whilst I'm enjoying this beautiful sunshine in these phenomenal sub-zero temperatures, I just want to wish you a wonderful day. And as I said, I look forward to being back for you again very soon. Bye for now.